I asked you to give me a bunch of ideas that I will all record in a single recording session. These videos will release every 2 days. Video 18. This is video 18 and it's pretty park champion, and I have to say, Gleb, true fan, actually real fan. That's higher than true fan. Real fan Gleb. Now that's a man I can agree with. I don't know what this means. Roll the tape. This is the real fan. I have to stand up. I can't half-ass it. It's a real fan. It's a real fan. It's a real fan. Can't half-ass it. So, okay. So, fun fact. Checker theory, right? So this is so we needed, yeah. So an interesting fact. Hello and welcome to what I call a new video. And today we are going to be talking about the Deltarune checkers theory, to multiple. So checkers. So here's an explanation of the game checkers. So checkers works on a grid like this. You know, it shares a grid with games like chess, if you are familiar with that one. And basically on each square is like this round thing, and then there's two colors. There's white and there's black, and there's this thing called Zugzwang. So if a piece can take another piece, then it has to take it. And fun fact, the way a piece is taken is by jumping over it and landing on the adjacent file here. So they would be landing here, from here, and then taking this piece and taking it out. So that's how checkers works. So there's also multiple pieces in checkers. So we have the normal checkers piece that starts at your side of the board, which can move forward. And then we have a second piece, which this one can turn into, which is a king's piece. And this king's piece can not only move forward, but also move backwards. Basically, it has complete global lactation. I mean, complete access to all angles, which is pretty park champion, if I do say so myself. Hit him with the whip and nay-nay. So basically what this means is that the checkers theory means that every single boss is actually only a boss because they reached some sort of goal. See, in checkers, the way you become the king is by reaching the other side of the board. So by checkers theory, the checkers theory would be that by reaching the other side of the board, the bosses became who they are. For example, Spamton, by reaching the other side of the board, went mad and became a king piece. However, what is the side of the board in this reference? So, Spamton always wanted fame, and then he reached that side of the board. He reached the end of fame. He always walked towards that goal, especially with the help of the phone guy. But then, as soon as he reached that board, he was no longer that piece. He was no longer that piece, and so the phone guy stopped calling him, and so he turned into a king piece. He went mad. Same with every other boss. The Tanner, for example, he went through the board of being watched and being a good old TV, but then the family started crumbling as soon as he reached that peak of everyone watching him. The family crumbled, and suddenly everything was taken away from him as he transitioned into a king piece. That goes for every single boss in the entirety of Deltarune. So that is clearly how the checkers theory needs to work. And that is what I call the checkers theory. Yeah. I love women. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna take this video to complain about this motherfucker. Alright? So I have this true fan, right? Didn't get a video idea in here because they're a motherfucker that don't do nothing ever. You know, they're stupid ass motherfuckers. So they went on Twitter. They went on Twitter after making fun of me on my Discord server. They went on Twitter and they wrote a very mean comment. So I was talking about how straight I am because I'm straight, right? And then they went on Twitter. They went on Twitter and they said, "You're the gayest straight man ever." Well, that's just rude. So I naturally had to reply with the only reply I can give, you know, a shocked expression of myself. And I did that. in between the recordings, and then she replied with, "You know I'm right. She ain't right. I'm straight. I'm straight. I love boobs, women. I love women. I'm man. I'm manly man. I'm straight man." So then I said, "You ain't. I'm so comfortable with my own sexuality that I'd sleep with a man to prove how much I dislike it." And like, yeah, I would do that. Like, I'm like so comfortable. I'm honest to God, I'm the most comfortable in my skin. I'm the not the most I don't like my penis, but like I'm the most comfortable with my sexuality. So I don't need to test it. But like if someone says I'm gay, I would test it, you know. But then she was real mean about it and replied with a speed gif. And like at that point, you know, at that point you're just a motherfucker. You know, you're a hater. You're a hater. You're not a true fan. You're a true hater. That's who you are. Ugh. And if you're saying she's living rent-free in my head, yes. At this very moment in time, yes. She's got me on the fucking ropes. My back is to the ropes. She keeps punching, and I'm like, fuck. What am I doing? Checkers. You like the Fury, right? Yeah, sure you did. You love the Fury. You love me. You love me, and that's how you love my Furies. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this fucking chair. Look at this chair. You know, it's a pretty good chair. I put that on the wrong way. Me fuck you. My fit goes absolutely goddamn hot. Cute.